Punk match in France. Now, that would be moderately surprising, maybe not as surprising as Cena, but still, two of the biggest stars of the modern era, first time they've been to France. How come France kept getting fucked around?
Vince hates fries.
They gave us the fry. They gave us the fry. The least that we can do is give them our wrestling champions.
Vince hates fries.
Well, apparently Vince has changed his opinions about a number of things since I knew him. So, you know what? Maybe that's the thing. Maybe he doesn't want anybody to sue, and he's trying to arbitrate, doesn't want to go to discovery because she's got footage of him eating French fries and a big old cheeseburger.
I don't know about that, but let's go to another four-way match.
He used to look at me when I would eat beef, dipping my big old double breaded chicken fingers in a big old cup of ranch dressing. He would look at me like I was the one pooping on somebody's head. How the worm has turned. So anyway, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker and Bronson Red. I got shot at.
When you reach your destination.
Shit on your head, Bronson Red.
All right, back to Bronson Red and Braun Breaker. In a match? They weren't in this match. They
yes, no, I'm trying to tell you, I was clearing my throat there. She tickled me. Braun Breaker and Bronson Red have been booted out of the arena.
Columbia. Syndicate members encouraged in the area.
Find
them and take them down. Be careful.
Choked out.
And most of all,
Roman Reigns in the first match, that's what the announcers are saying. So Seth he's all by his lonesome. And he's one heel against three baby faces. That might make you sympathetic. Sometimes with the baby faces, they're kind of mad at each other too. Everybody is risen in the match, and most of the people in the match are very good. It's a full thing. It's just the laziest of and I'm not saying the guys are being lazy. I'm saying the creative team, the bookers, are lazy. Because they just do this. And you can't tell a story throughout this thing that's uninterrupted. You can tell a story between two people and it comes out at the end or whatever, but guys just have to disappear for long stretches of time while other guys get their shit in. It's unnatural. It interrupts the flow of an athletic contest. And you see it so often. This was a better one. Some really stink, and most are just blah. But, I mean, I could give you a description. Everybody did everything at some point. They hit all their shit. They did everything they were supposed to. It's a four-way. And finally, they had wiped out Punk when he took a bump off the apron onto a table that cracked, but it didn't break. But then L.A. Knight tried to do an elbow drop on Seth off the top rope on the announced desk, and Seth moved, and L.A. Knight went through the desk. And then Seth and Uso went back and forth forever, and Seth had him, but Punk came back in then and made the save. And then Punk hit the go sleep on Uso and covered him, but Seth stomped Punk and got a 2 count. That was a nice false finish. But then Seth stomped L.A. Knight and Uso on the floor to keep them down a little while longer. Well, he got a chair, brought it to the ring, set it up, put Punk's head in through the chair. And Brian, even if you're dazed, if like a hand grenade goes off next to your head, would you be able to pull your head out of the fucking chair?
Yeah, you know, the whole time I'm thinking, I just saw these two in the WrestleMania match on Unreal. They thought all this was a good idea. They talked all this stuff and thought, yeah, this is the way we should go.
Yeah, that's another thing. Seeing them talking about it kind of kind of shits all over the post toasties. But anyway, he goes for the stomp on the chair, but Punk moves, says stomp the chair. Punk hit a go to sleep. Went for the second go to sleep, had him up, and a black ninja came into the ring, a hoodie and all wrapped up, and hit Punk in the balls. Right in front of the referee, because it's no disqualification. And then took the hood off, and it was Becky Lynch. It was Becky, that no good Jezebel. And then Seth hit the stomp cover, 1, 2, 3. Now, there were some good things about this, but again, here is, you can't get heat on the count of the big way. Because the first thing the fan does, even subliminally, is sit there and look, the referee ain't doing a goddamn thing. Or if they say, well, the referee can't do anything because no DQ, then it's the promotion's fault. That's why this was not done until the modern age of wrestling, where then it became immaterial whether you had any heat or sold any tickets because they're just going to pay you from the networks. But if you want to do this right, even if it's no DQ, when there's interference to that level that decides the match in favor of the heel or babyface, dismiss the referee in a meaningful and credible way. You don't have to bump him and he'd be down for 7 minutes. Don't let him fucking see. But now that I've said that, this is brilliant with him and Becky. And we'll get to what they did on Raw in just a moment. But I've said this before, and a lot of fans, maybe they still don't get it. Yes, they've had some women's main events in the WWE. And a few of them deserved it, and other ones were just there because they didn't want people to be mad at it for not being fair. But for the majority of the women, the fans would see it as an insult, and probably some of these women would too, if instead of being a woman wrestler on the middle of the card, even in the women's title match, if you're a part of the package with one of the main event guys, then you're guaranteed to be figured into the main event of WrestleMania, or the main event of 2 nights of one of the main events of WrestleMania, or main event of 2 nights SummerSlam, or main event of the Royal Rumble, or whatever. If you're a package with a main event guy, and that would not only be preferable, but also would extend your. If you could be a bigger match and take fewer bumps, and you're still a featured part of the fucking program, an even bigger featured part of the program, rather than just wrestling on the middle. So I love the pairing, and my feelings wouldn't be hurt if they would save Heyman's appearances for Braun and Reed, and let Becky, for the most part, come out with Seth. And we've established that Becky can take better bumps than Paul. So, I'm just saying, I like that the pairing, but it was kind of just a cheap way to get out of it fucking finish.
Yeah, and I'll save a lot of my thoughts about the intergender feud as it looks like it will be for when we talk about Raw. Obviously, it was her as soon as she got in the ring. It was clear that it wasn't a guy, and it didn't take too long to figure out, oh, that's clearly Becky Lynch.
Well, yeah, she's 110 pounds.
Do you think, in this day and age, and with there being so many wrestling couples, especially in this country, but it's everywhere. It's all over. It's in the Indies, it's in AEW, it's here. I don't know about what goes on in New Japan. But do you think it's smart to acknowledge it, lean into it, to use it? If everyone knows these two are a couple, if when they're not on wrestling, they're on red carpets together. We saw them at the Kentucky Derby together on TV. You know what I mean? If it's a thing that's real and they're not hiding it, Is it a smart thing to lean into it?
Yes. I mean, part of the reason why this works is because everybody knows that they're really together. They've already been together. Now, that's not to say that they couldn't have done this same thing if they weren't really a real life couple. They could have done this same thing on television, and I think the two of them together, because they can talk and they got kids, whether they were a real couple or not, but it adds a lot to this that everybody has together. So use that.
Well, that was WWE's Clash in Paris, and of course, Jim, Paris is a long ways away, and although WWE will be remaining in Europe for a little while and returning to it not too long after that, there's a lot of time on the airplane to sit, look out the window, maybe listen to some music while you're thinking about these things. Maybe listen to your favorite podcast while thinking about things on this airplane.
Doing a lot of thinking. I always try not to think on planes. Because if I thought on planes, I would be thinking about where the fuck I was at, and then I would be screaming and clawing at the fucking upholstery.
Well, maybe you need some good music to get you to stop thinking about things and just lose yourself in the groove, get down with the boogie. Jim, we have a great deal from our friends at Raycon for the listeners.
Yes, you do, and you don't get down with the boogie. You blame it on the boogie. And you get down tonight, and then you put on your boogie shoes. And I'm going to put on my boogie shoes.